Welcome to another episode of Catch the Vision podcast. Again, let me pause one more time because I know y'all are wondering, where is the CEO of Team Vision, Kevin Williams? Well, just know he's behind the scenes constructing a master plan, and he trusted me, nephew, to fill in his place. I'm your host today, Kerry Woodard Sr., and today's conversation goes beneath the surface. We have the special honor and privilege of introducing you all to the Beard Bay, the owner and CEO of My Exclusive Looks, Marcinda Henkins, right? Is it Henkins?
Yes, it is.
Henkins. But you know, I call her Marcy because we've known each other well before this. So if I call her Marcy, please don't fret. But I just want you to know, today's episode is where we take entrepreneur stories, where they turn their stories into impact, and they turn that impact into income. So without further ado, let's welcome Marcy.
Hey guys, so my name is Marcy or Marcinda, and I am your local Beard Bay. I'm located in Frisco, Texas, so I'm excited to be here today.
Well, Marcy, we can't wait to dig deeper and beyond that surface in today's conversation, because I know I've been following you for quite some time, and one of the biggest themes or reoccurring themes I know is going beyond surface level. So just tell us a little bit about yourself. Where are you originally from?
So I'm originally from Oklahoma City. I was born there, and I am 41 or 40 years old, so I forgot how old I am. But yeah, so I'm born in Oklahoma City. So that's where I'm from.
Well, they say black don't crack. Well, you haven't aged a bit. Tell me what brought you to Texas.
Okay, so my mom moved down here working from Southwestern Bell. We transferred here when I was like 9 years old. So I was in the second grade. So Dallas, Texas is my home, is where I grew up. And this is where it helped me develop to who I am today.
So she was working for Southwestern Bell, and then uprooted and came to Dallas.
Correct.
And you followed.
Well, yeah, I was a kid. I was 9. I was in the second
you
grade.
were 9.
Yeah.
Okay, so how has that move been from Oklahoma to Texas, from what you can remember?
So it's just I didn't realize it then, but what shaped me today is also just learning from an early age, being able to adapt, right? Because life doesn't always prepare you for change. And even though I was only 9, it wasn't a decision of mine to move or to transfer and make new friends, new schools, and just become who I am today, and just adapting to those changes that just happens. So
when you got older and started, carving your own lane, because you moved in second grade, now you're in high school getting ready to go for life beyond. What was it like living? What was the reality of living in Texas in a bigger city versus probably what could have been happening back in Oklahoma or a smaller town?
Well, I would say more so just reality of just realizing that you can do more, because it's just such a slower city, I guess, smaller and more of a dimmer mindset. So, like, I bought my first home when I was 21.
Really?
Yes. And so I was doing a lot better than a lot of my friends at that age. They was living in apartments, and they always jump into the next move-in special. I'm like, God, Yeah. So I've just learned from an early age, like, it's just cheaper to buy your home, and it's just easier to be able to manage your money that way. And I just kind of adapted to possibilities that more so that I think I had than if I was in Oklahoma.
Absolutely. So you were a homeowner by 21.
Yes.
So just walk us through, what were you doing to be able to be in a position to be a homeowner by 21? Like, what was your career, or what was, how were you being able to afford living in a home by that early age?
So I don't even know where I was working at that time, but my brother was in real estate. So he helped me and schooled me on whatever I needed, and I was able to get approved for a first-time home buyer program.
Gotcha.
So I purchased a HUD home at that time.
Really?
So my first home was only $52,000.
Really? Oh, wow.
And it was a good HUD home. It was a great challenge.
You're not going to get a $52,000 home
No,
today.
I don't even hear HUD homes is even out there like that.
No. Before we dive deeper into your new title as Beard Bay, walk us through, what were you doing before Beard Bay? Like, what were you doing before you launched this brand and this business?
Okay, so I've been in corporate for however many years. I was with Chase for at least 7 years.
Okay.
And I got laid off in 2018. So before I got laid off, I was already tapping into my creative side. I started off as a makeup artist. I went to Paul Mitchell, got my aesthetics license. So I've been a licensed esthetician since 2018. And then at that time, I was more so focusing on women's services. So when I got laid off, I just went full in, took my severance package and started my business. But at that time, I was doing women's services, micro shading, eyelash extensions, facials. And after COVID, I just wasn't able to fill my books anymore. So I had to get a part-time job. So I got a part-time job at a cigar lounge, which is Cigar International in the Colony. And then one day I just remember asking God, hey, I need you to breathe life back into my finances and back into my business. And I just felt like a little nudge. And it's like, let these men know you know how to do facials. And so from there, I had two guys in particular with beards that came, and it's like, yo, like, I love the way my face feel, but what about my beard? And so in school, we were never taught to go into the beard. It was just considered hair. So
right.
You just avoid it.
Let the barbers deal with that.
Well, yeah, I guess so. We didn't ever go into it because it's just hair. You just do just the face area, but leave the beard out. And so I'm like, well, don't y'all got products? And they're like, no. So I spent 3 weeks at work at the cigar lounge, going around asking these men with beards, if y'all had a product, what do y'all want it to help with? Because there's enough beard oils and beard balms out there. What are y'all true issues? What are y'all concerns? So that's how I developed the beard care line. And then I just went down a whole rabbit hole and just realized it's a major gap in the men. In men's self-care. They just simply just don't know. It's just a huge gap.
No, and it's funny because I'm laughing because I remember being at CI, just, smoking my cigar, my Romeo and Julieta, sipping my old fashioned, and here comes somebody pulling on my beard saying, hey, who does your beard care? I'm like, I don't know. I just put some oil on it. Well, let me talk to you. I was like, what are you talking about, woman? And so I love how you took something and made it your own. Yeah. And you gotta help us understand dealing with the men at the cigar lounge, especially as one as popular and frequently visited as CI. What did that teach you about the nature of men?
What did that teach me about the nature of men? It just taught me that they don't. How do I explain it? What did it teach me about the nature of men? I would say more so men are just very surface level, right? Just how you just said, I put on a beard oil every day, I put on a balm. They don't go any further than that. A lot of them don't. Or if they do, they go too much further. I wash my beard every day. That is too much.
Too much.
They either do too little or too much. So, and at the end of the day, they're not doing necessarily the right thing to get their beard to flourish and nurture. And it's just because they just don't know what to do. They having these issues, but they just think it's normal because they haven't been taught no other way.
Got you. And so as we transition from figuring out what's next to getting the part-time but being creative and still pulling in a new clientele, what was some of the biggest challenges starting out?
Me coming into a male-dominated space. I'm a woman, and I'm trying to tell you about your beard. And you're saying, hey, girl, I'm 43 years old. I done had this beard for 18, 20 plus years. What can you tell me about my beard?
And what you tell them?
Well, I can tell you right now it's dry. I can look at it and tell, or I can tell you have breakage. I've gotten to the point I can look at your beard and tell you all the issues that you are experiencing. So when I do that, and I didn't even have to work my fingers to it, and then a light bulb goes off because I can look at you and tell your issues with your beard and what you struggle with. So that right there gives me more of a credibility of just being able to look at someone's beard and say what's going on. Because that was one of the main things I noticed about you is your breakage. You had excessive breakage.
Yeah. And I go back to that, and I talk about myself. You don't have to tell me my beard was breaking. I knew it was breaking, but I didn't know. I thought you just pick it out and keep going, and the barber chop it off when you get it lined up. So I didn't know. So you did help educate me with that, and I will go a step further when you combed my beard before the service, and we saw how much breakage was happening.
Yeah, you was the first one I did that video with.
Yeah. So I remember. So Marcy, what mind shift had to happen though as you became a business owner? Because you were working at Chase, you got a part-time at CI to kind of make ends meet, but now you have to be a full-time business owner. What was that mind shift like? What did you have to do?
I had to change my perspective when realizing that the money's not always there and that you don't have to have money to be resourcefulness. But I have people in my back pocket I could call to get answers done and get things moving. And it doesn't always have to be monetary or money. And I also had to change my perspective that when it looks like today that it's not working, that the wheels are always moving in the background, whether if I see it or not. And that when things don't go my way, it's always in my favor.
It's always in your
It's
favor.
always in your favor, but it's easier said than done when you still getting a check coming in. But when you don't have anything that comes in, but your money solely depends on clients and product sales and numbers, and when you don't see those numbers or you don't see those clients or you see cancellations, it's hard to tell yourself, hey, it's always going to work out in your favor.
Keep going.
Yeah. So the perspective on everything has to change.
And how did you flow with that perspective change? Because you hit the nail on the head. It's uncertain money. So how did you navigate that space? Because you have a child, right? Mm-hmm. How old is your child?
She's 17.
So how do you navigate with a 17-year-old that space?
I mean, shoot, I just keep it moving. Like for instance, I just learned how to just put out there exactly what I need, whether if it's for me or for her, and it literally shows up. Right.
Gotcha.
So, God, you know, he's a spirit, so he moved through people. So if I say, I need this, I will literally, that person will show up for whatever it is that I need. So I just truly believe he knows where everybody is and what everybody is capable of, and they will show up for me.
And now we see that you're capable of becoming the Beard Bae. So let's talk about that for a second. What was the turning point that said, you know what, I'm going to just focus on men's skincare and beard care?
When I realized, when I go to these networking events and I mention what I do, I am the only one in that room every single time to do what I do. It is a response that I get when I say, hey, I have a men's spa. It's something that is an untapped market. It's something that is missing. It's a huge open gap field. I'm in a huge open gap or field area. I'm in demand. So why would I take this full speed?
And you trailblazed a lane that has not been tapped into.
Yeah, because I'm not a barber, and I'm doing what estheticians are not doing. So why would I take this lane?
And I think that you've proven with just the success that you've had that it was needed. And it was very critical that men understood that they had options, because what was one of the biggest misunderstandings men had about beard care?
Oh, I would say the biggest misunderstanding that men have is that it's natural for it to itch when it's growing back, or yeah, my beard is dry, but it's always dry. It doesn't have to be always dry, or it's always dry, but yet it's not growing the way I want to. Where the skin is where the hair grows out of. It's not gonna grow out of a desert like you want it to.
Yeah, no, it's not. But they think that's normal though, right?
Right. So that's, yeah.
So before they come to your chair, how do you destabilize something that they have probably lived with for quite some time that they thought was normal?
I'm just a person. I show you better than I could tell you. Mm-hmm. Right. So if you tell me your issue is breakage or itchiness or dryness, and I say, well, hey, if you give me at least 10 minutes, or usually when I go do my events, I'm able to say, give me 10 minutes of your time, have a seat, let me actually treat the skin underneath. And then now we can have these conversations. Now when they actually experience something differently, now I have just kind of broke the little code of programming of what they thought they knew about their beard and what they now know and is able to experience for themselves. And then for my journey, doing this person and that person, it became a domino effect because now they're able to speak on my behalf.
Wow. So each one teach one, and you educating as you go, because when you're at these events, whether it's at the Cigar Lounge, at a sponsored event that you signed up as a vendor, how do you approach that? Well, I've tried everything. What's your response to that?
I believe them. They probably have. They probably tried every product they could think of on Amazon, salads, what their wife bought them, what their barbers recommended, what their homeboy uses. I absolutely believe them. But what they not have tried is, have you tried everything for your skin? What have you tried for your skin? So that is what separates me than coming to them with another beard oil.
Ooh, so again, and I told y'all, we're going beneath the surface. And so when you talk about have you tried everything for the skin, I'm led to believe that's where the beard sauce came from, right?
That's exactly
so,
what it is.
So tell me more, how did that beard sauce come about?
So again, when I would go around and I ask people, if you had a product, what would you want it to treat and address? Because again, I don't have a beard. So if I'm going to create something to help you, I need to know what I'm addressing. So it's the same thing when you're in the shop and I'm giving you a facial. I'm addressing whether your skin issues is dryness, hyperpigmentation, if you're having issue with oily skin. I need to know what am I addressing to actually treat the beard, because a lot of these men issues, I notice it has to do with the skin. But what are y'all true main issues or concerns? And so I just went down this whole rabbit hole and just started researching a lot of things. I have people in my back pocket I could call that's really good product knowledge, and I just started creating things. So what happened is I would create these little batches at home, and I would go to the cigar lounge, hand them out as samples. But that route didn't really work too well because people wasn't reading my instructions with the samples. They was just taking it, not doing right.
Their beard may have gotten hard because it's got honey in it.
Yeah, so it was just like, it was just crazy. So then I would offer this special because I knew how I intended for it to be used, but giving you a sample, it just wasn't working because you wasn't doing it the way I intended for it to be done. So I would run this special. So like for the first few months or even the first half of a year, I really wasn't making no money. I was using these men that came into the shop to let me perfect my line before I got it to where it is today. So I would come in with like just a baby jar of a batch that I made at home, keep it in my refrigerator because everything's all natural. And I would just work it out. And then I take people feedback. I go back to the lab at the house, figure it out again. Again, I didn't need money to get started. I just used what I had at home. I just used my internet. I used YouTube. I used the resources I had available. And I just built the full line based on what they told me their issues were, and started with the skin. And then word just traveled. People say, yo, I heard you got that juice. Or they say, I heard you got that sauce. So I like the word sauce.
Beard sauce.
So that's where beard sauce. So everything is what the guys just named it. So I just kept it as it is.
And I chuckle because I was looking at some of your videos and I saw the one of you in the kitchen, whipping up your product with the blender and everything like that. Really, what makes it special and personal like that? Like, how does that really help you feel more connected to your product?
Well, number one, it's not sitting on the shelf, right? So it's connected because it's literally my love and my energy is going into every single batch. It's not going through a manufacturer. It's not going through a whole bunch of different things before it gets to you. It's actually coming from my personal hands who crafted this based on me just truly wanting to help you. So all that just transferred right into my products.
So when did you have that aha moment, I'm on to something? Because you went through several batches, you went through several creations to perfect it. But what was that aha moment that said, you know what? This sauce is bigger than grooming?
My biggest aha moment is when people will call me later and say, yo, I noticed this morning when I combed my beard, I didn't have no fallout in the sink. They was like, normally it's this and that. So then I would realize, like, oh, okay, well, that makes sense because we did this, we did that. So all these things would start coming together. Or then people was like, yo, I was at a meeting today. I had a presentation, and I noticed I didn't have no beard oil on my collar. I was like, I never knew that was even an issue. But that is what triggered me start doing content based on these men having problems with their products transferring. I didn't know that was an issue. I never seen beard commercials promote that or talk about that. But it made sense because it's not sitting on top anymore.
Right, it's going
It's being fully absorbed in, so it makes sense. So now you don't even have to worry about messing up your clothes, your collars. Some people even mess up their pillowcases, you know. So, or when people say, "I wore a black shirt today, no flakes,"
I can see the,
you know. So and then one of the guys, because I didn't even know that this was something that this is one of my biggest aha moments, is when the guy said, after using your products, I noticed that my skin healed underneath. He had probably just really bad irritation. And so what triggered that for me was when I was making this, I wasn't thinking about that there's so many men who have skin irritation underneath their beard. But when the source is working through you to create something bigger than you, with honey being my main ingredient, that's a natural healing agent. So when I was making this, I was not thinking about healing people's skin. I was thinking about addressing their issues of dryness, itchiness, breakage, split ends, and dry, which is dandruff. I never once thought that so many people had skin irritation and that it actually healed their skin. Because that was not something that brought to me as an issue initially.
right. So what makes honey as the base of your beard sauce, what makes that different than other products out there?
I don't know other product out there that got honey and promoted for beard stuff. Do you?
I mean, I don't know. So,
it has a lot of benefits for our skin, our hair. So what makes it different is that number one, it's like a hair mask. It's a beard hair mask. So you let it sit for at least 10 minutes. So that way it could give you a deeper penetration and absorb better and hydrate the actual skin much better than other products just sits on top and just roll off.
And so other products just sit on top. Your products go deep.
Yeah, so if you want to think of it like I said, like a hair mask or a treatment, so it's doing more than something that you just maybe wash and just rinse right out, or just put on it as an everyday, right? So it's doing more because it's actually treating the skin, and it's also softening and loosening the hair a lot more, and it also untangles the hair because a lot of men have real tight curls. So that honey softens it up so much that your fingers able to run straight through, and you already know from your own personal experience
Absolutely.
as well. So honey just has a lot of great benefits, and a lot of us eat honey as well.
No, I know. And I just remember questioning, because I know honey to be sticky. And then if you let it sit too long, it hardens. Because that's why I joke about when you were passing the samples out, people say, "Hey, I got these clumps."
That's
so,
fine.
so
That's fine.
it seems like you've mastered the process, and that's what it's all about, Marcy.
I got it out the mud. I did.
you see, but you know what? But when you got it out the mud, it came through as a diamond.
It did,
and that's what I'm really excited about, because your journey and your growth shows that, hey, it wasn't perfect. It was perfectly imperfect. You knew the route to go, but you now got to perfect the craft on how to get there. What makes the beard sauce different?
I'm sorry.
You don't have to apologize to me for your greatness.
Sorry, because that was really like, I went through so many batches and just
take your time.
Like I didn't have the knowledge to make ingredients, to make products. I was just doing something to help these people with their beards. And I didn't know really what I was creating, but I did make some people's beards hard initially. I mean, nobody's beard fell out.
No, I don't think.
But it was some serious trial and error. It really was. And, people talked about me. I'm sorry.
Listen, this is why we do Catch the Vision, because these are real stories making real impact. So, Marcy, you take your time, because this is what separates someone who's connected to their brand versus someone who's just trying to get some money. And so that's why I said take your time. And so, Marcy, as you think about your journey as an entrepreneur, what would you tell those who are aspiring to just step out on faith, to just try something, follow their passion?
So for me, the first thing I tell somebody that when you ask for something, just know that you're being heard, right? That the God is hearing you. But just know that when you ask for it, you don't know how it's going to come. And you don't have to worry about the how, the when, and the where. Those are the biggest things we always worry about. Because we're trying to get in our own way to figure out how we're going to do it, or, where it's going to come from, what we're going to do. We're trying to make it happen. The only thing I ever asked for, I said, can you breathe life back into my finances and back into my business? That's it. It didn't say I'm going to do more women facials, more women brows. Nowhere did I think it was going to be men. Mm-hmm. I just wanted my business to pick up so I could leave my part-time job. That's it.
That's it.
So I had no idea that it was going to take me down this whole new journey of servicing men. And then I just wanted just to help somebody. And that's just how it started. So whatever you have that's giving you a nudge to do, you just have to trust it, because that nudge that I had was just like, okay, yeah, I help you. But then it's like, well, where do you start? Well, the only way I knew to start is, well, what am I addressing? Okay, well, just go to Google. Okay, well, what's the main thing to help with this issue, to help with that issue? And then I just went from there. And as I'm doing it, I'm asking God, you gave me this idea. I need you to help me create it.
Yep.
Right? So we are the co-creators of our lives. So you asked for it. He gave me an idea, a whole new lane that is untapped into.
Yep.
And I'm walking through this blindly every day and just holding on to the idea of, God, you gave me this idea. Mm-hmm. And not to worry about where it's going to come from. Because if God gave me this idea, He's going to bring me the clients. He's going to give me the clientele that I need. And it has not failed me yet with having the people that need my service, that seek me, that come to me. So I may not be for everybody. My products may not be for everybody, but they're going to help the ones that need it, because those men that told me that they need the help, I created this for them, and it's find the ones that it needs to find. At the end of the day, it's not for everybody.
Faith is the substance of things hoped for, and the evidence of things not seen. You got some tissue on that. I gotta make sure you look, beat, because you my girl. Yeah. Evidence of things not seen, but Proverbs 3:5 says, "Lean not on your own understanding." Mm-hmm. Proverbs 3:6, "Trust in the Lord, and He'll guide your path."
Yes,
and that's what it's all about. But more people have to realize that it's not gonna all. Be careful asking for clarity, because when He give it to you, you got to be ready to receive it. And so I thank you for that moment of transparency, and I thank you for really sharing that, because that story impacts and resonates with so many who are out there, failed attempt after failed attempt after failed attempt, and you just got to keep going.
Right.
Perseverance is endurance is the hardness of a good soldier. Keep going. So I want to talk about what we have displayed today, your beer sauce. Walk me backwards for a second. What were those 4 or 5 things you said are the most common beer problems that you spoke about?
The most common beer problems that men have is that, no, I'm just going to say that the most common beer problem in the industry that I'm in is that there's products being sold but no education with it. Because even though I'm looking at these men, they're using their beard oil, they don't know what they doing.
No, you lather it up and you go out the door.
They don't have the knowledge with it, right? Mm-hmm. So that is first and foremost with the industry that I'm in. So it's a ton of beer products, but they just don't know what to do, right? They don't know that the reason I'm using so much beard oil is because I'm overusing products, is because my beard is just so dry. Mm-hmm. Right? Mm-hmm. So because it's so dry, you're thinking, I need this much, but you're just trying to overcompensate it being so dry. And the only thing is that you're just depleting all the natural oils in the skin, so it's dehydrating the beard.
So what would you say is the biggest mistake that most men make with their beard?
Oh, the biggest mistake I would say is a lot of men don't know what an exfoliator is. So I'm not gonna say it's a mistake. They just don't know, right? Mm-hmm. It ain't like you knew and you just don't do right.
Yeah.
But the exfoliator that's like the hardest thing for me to sell to men, but they love it. And it makes a world of a difference. So it's removing dead skin cells. It's removing, it's unclogging the pores. It's actually help prepping the skin to better receive. But that's one of the biggest mistakes, is because they're just doing things at surface level, or just doing things that's just actually for the hair and not for the skin. But it's just simply because a lot of them just don't know. So I don't know if I would categorize that as a mistake. It's just a lot of them just don't know.
You're right. And break down for us really quick, what does it mean to exfoliate? I know you mentioned dead skin, but what does it mean, like truly mean, to exfoliate the skin?
So some people in their line, they have a product. I have an actual tool, which is right here. Mm-hmm. So again, it's like a brush. But it has little combs to it, but you would go in a circular motion. So again, exfoliating, it's going to remove built up products, dead skin cells, things underneath the surface of the beard that you're just not getting to with your regular hands, and just washing it on surface level. You're just not going to get it all up. So it's removing things underneath to be able to better receive. It's making room for your skin to be able, like I said, to absorb better.
I know we're talking about beards, but in life, we got to remove some things that's underneath so we can be better at life, because that's a word right there. We're going to have to, that's going to be for another episode, because okay, we got to park that right there, removing things from what's underneath to get a better outcome. So your products that you have here, I know you got the beard sauce. Which one is the beard sauce? Is this our beard sauce right here?
No.
Which one is the beard sauce? I'm sorry.
No, you're okay. So this one's the beard sauce.
So the beard sauce, that's your honey base, right?
Yes.
So talk to us about the other products out here, because we know all about the beard sauce. What else do you have and offer with your kits that you're doing now?
Okay, so the way that the line works is you will have the shampoo. So again, with the shampoo, it's paired with the exfoliator.
Okay.
Like I would just mention, that's you prepping the skin, right?
Okay.
The beard sauce comes in. That's your treatment that actually treats the skin as well as the hair. That's something that you do maybe once or twice a month. And then after that, you have to rinse that completely out, because, again, we've already shared that the base of it is honey. Right. It's all natural organic products, ingredients. And then after you rinse that completely out, you'll follow behind with the butter. Now, my butter is my number one seller.
The butter?
The butter is my number one seller.
It's like Country Crock, or what? You know, what kind of butter are you talking about here?
It's a natural leave-in daily moisturizer, or my idea is saying lotion for the skin. And guess what it smells like?
What does it smell like?
Nothing.
Really? No.
And that's another thing that separates me from other product lines out there. A lot of products focuses on the fragrances because it smells good and it may add shine to the hair. But a lot of fragrances have alcohol base, which dries the skin out. So my butter is the number one seller, and it doesn't even smell like anything. I don't have any added fragrances because a lot of them have alcohol. Gotcha. So that's one of the reasons why it's my number one seller, because it leaves your beard conditioned and hydrated all day. And there's nothing in there to dry it out. Like some people feel like I'm sorry to cut you off. Some people feel like they have to reapply throughout the day, or like I put it on this morning by 3 p.m. it's dry again. They got to reapply. So now you're going through all these products because you're reapplying 2 or 3 times a day, and you should not have to do that, but you don't know that. Mm-hmm. You just know that your beard is still dry.
Still dry.
And then follow behind is the oil and the balm. I'm sorry.
No, why you keep apologizing for your story? We're here to catch your vision. We're here to catch your vision. So it starts with the shampoo, and the exfoliator.
Yes.
Then we put the beard sauce in.
Yes.
And somehow this magical butter came into place, and then you rinse all of that out.
Not the butter.
Okay,
the
so
butter's
butter's leave-in.
Mm-hmm. So the butter, the oil, and the balm, those are your leave-in daily moisturizers.
Okay, so butter, oil, balm, leave-in daily moisturizers, and then what's next? Just lather, rinse, repeat?
No, so the beard sauce step, you want to do that maybe once or twice a month.
A month?
Yeah.
Okay.
So I'm basically saying if you were to take the time out to treat the skin at least once or twice a month, you're going to notice a difference with the way it feels, the way it looks, the way it's able to absorb products. It's just an overall difference with your beard. And you're doing skincare without even realizing it.
I mean, but you're bridging your esthetician knowledge with this untapped market of beard care, so it makes perfect sense. So that's the products that we have for the hair. Tell me more how we got into, I see a decanter and whiskey glass. How did we get into, how did we expand over to this lane in this market?
So this is part of my, again, everything's back to where the birthplace, the Cigar Lounge.
Oh, absolutely.
So I started doing Beards and Bourbon Day.
Okay.
So Beards and Bourbon Day, that's almost like fellowship for a lot of men, right? They come, they like to have their nice favorite bourbon with their cigars, and beers just another thing that just kind of all goes together. So when the guys come into the shop, we start off with a nice bourbon for them if they like, and then we're going straight into like the service. But it's just another way just to kind of relax and just to kind of take your mind off everything. Because again, I'm not a barber, so it's a more of a relaxing service. So it's just my way of just unwinding.
And when you started Beards and Bourbon, this is at your shop?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes. It's a men's spa.
And they come and get beard treatments, or like what is the beard part of it? Where does that come in?
Right. So it's a full facial, it's a beard treatment, and it does include a light massage and a complimentary bourbon. Okay.
What's your favorite bourbon?
I don't drink bourbon.
So you see, that's what I'm saying. But the market does, and so
the market does. Yeah. So I cater towards men.
Gotcha.
Right. So I'm more like your lemon drop margarita person.
Yeah. You're a lemon drop girly.
Yeah,
okay.
I am. So I don't. Me personally, I don't do bourbon, but a lot of my male clientele, they like bourbons.
You also don't have a beard, but that doesn't mean you didn't perfect the craft of it.
That is true.
Okay.
But I ain't finna grow one either.
No, please don't.
I'm not. So I ain't finna start liking bourbon. Make my chest burn.
So, what was it like getting into those vendor spaces? Like, how have you been able to become vendors even at the last minute?
Okay, so just the story that stands out is last year I found out about the Houston Cigar Week, and when I found out about it, the opportunity for vendors has already closed. The window has already closed, and then my sister knew one of the people on the the board, I guess you can say. And so I was able to get in contact with him, and I said, hey, I would like to participate and be a vendor. Is it too late? And he was like, well, what do you have? Because it is.
We
already have everybody. I said, I have a men's beard care line. And he said, okay, well, look, like some beard oils and beard balms. I said, no, not necessarily. And I showed him clips of me doing the actual on the spot experience, and I told him my story, and he said, yo, that's innovative and that's dope. He said, I don't know where I'm gonna put you at, but we gotta have you because we don't have nobody there for that. And I was only able to do Sunday. It was last minute,
right?
He said, whatever it is, we gotta have you on Sunday, the all white party, because that's the biggest day anyway. And he was so right. I was the only one there doing what I'm doing. I was the only one there creating the experience I was creating. I'm doing on-the-spot beard treatments, education. There's no one else doing what I'm doing. So the way that I'm able to get into these vendors spots is that I am bringing something that no one else is bringing. I've earned that spot. I am creating a space that is just untapped into, and I'm not in competition with no one else. Nobody. And it's something that is needed. It was so many men there with beards, and they don't even know what they're doing with them.
Yeah.
Walking around, you got your guys selling the fedoras.
Yeah.
You got your, fedoras. You got your guys selling the fedora hats, which is really nice. You have people selling appeals like T-shirts and hats and cigars, plenty of cigar vendors. But who's taking care of their beards? Nobody. So this year they're actually looking to now put me in a host hotel to have a larger space to be able to get more traffic in that way. So they're already thinking about, hey, we got to put you in the spotlight.
No, well, you earned the spotlight, and they saw the worth of it. Walk me through more about the beard experience. What is that? What is the beard experience
on the to-go version?
Yeah, on your vendor beard experience.
So, y'all, I travel with my outdoor sink. It is a bucket, but it works. It's really cool. A lot of people like my little sink, but yeah, I come with everything. I have my whole sink set up. I have my own water. And I'm washing my hands before we get started. I'm draping you, and I'm literally going over what is your routine at home, what are your issues or concerns that you currently have, and I'm letting you know what we would be addressing on the spot. I like the sink setup method because, again, that's what separates me. I can have a table of just full of products all day long, and just say, hey, you want to buy this? This is going to do this for you. This is going to do that for you. Or I could say, hey, if you got 10 minutes, have a seat, and I'm going to show you what products can do for you. Yeah. But it didn't tell you. At the end of the day, I'm all about a show me state. I'm going to show you better than I could tell you. And honestly, I found that to be one of the best ways, because you're probably not going to take that home and do it the way I intended for you to do it.
Well, I'll go back to this. Team Vision CEO Kevin Williams taught me a long time ago, the money is in the results. There is no money in the product. There is no money in the process. But if you can sell the results, you start to see the impact of what it is you're doing. And so perfect, analogy there. What did Cigar Lounges teach you now that you got your beard perfected? What can you credit to the Cigar Lounge experience and partnerships?
Well, that's where men is already at. Right? So that is where men is already at. They're already doing their fellowships. They're already there with sipping on their bourbons. I'm just help at selling their experience and saying, hey, let's go ahead and treat your beer while you're here, and let's just shake it up a little bit. Let's add a little bit more value to your experience where you're already going to at it anyway.
Absolutely.
So it's just a place where I'm able to meet men where they are. And those are just when I go and do my on the spot treatments. So
we know how to meet men where they are. How can people meet you where you are?
So my shop is located in Frisco, Texas. I'm 8 minutes away from the PGA headquarters. So that's where you could reach me. I'm also on Instagram at myexclusivelooks_LLC. And you can also find me on my website, which is myexclusivelooks.com.
For those of us who went to public school, you may want to spell your website out, because it's not exclusive how I would have spelled it.
That is true. Thank you.
I'm here to help you, Marcy.
So it's MY and it's CLUSIVELOOKS.com.
So the fastest way for people to reach you is how?
You can always message me. My number is 214-405-6587.
So I want to challenge you to do something to be more intentional. Tell the people to text BEARD, BEARD, to your number so we can start generating this traffic now, because people need this experience ASAP because they need the education. So tell the people to text BEARD. Go ahead. I'm going to let you do it.
All right. So if you watch this episode, and just for this special today, and I had a great time coming here at Team Vision, I'm offering a 10% off on all online sales. If you were to just text me BEARD, I'm going to send you a link to where you could go ahead and start your beard care journey today.
I love it. I love it. I love it. I want to give you an opportunity. Is there anything that you want to just tell the people before we head to our conclusion?
The only thing I could just tell you, whatever it is that is nudging at you, what you feel like is an idea, no matter how small it is or no matter how crazy it is, you owe it to yourself to see it through.
See it through.
To see it through. I mean, whether if it fails or if it doesn't, at least you tried. But at least you didn't go to the grave with that idea.
That's powerful. That's powerful. Well, Marcy, I want to first and foremost thank you for sharing your story. Thank you for the vulnerability of what it means to be an entrepreneur. But thank you for encouraging people to trailblaze a path, because that's really what it comes down to. Find a lane and trailblaze it. Be a disruptor in an industry that you know you can make an impact on. And so, family, if this episode resonated with you, and please make sure you like, follow, and subscribe, but share this episode with somebody who may need it. And for the men out there, or the partners, the significant others, brothers, sisters, aunties of men, please text the word beard to her number that she mentioned earlier, because we need to get that beard experience in multiple people's lives. But the most important thing that I want you to realize is this is a space for real conversations, real stories, real impact, because we have real moments. So until next time, I want you all to continue to catch the vision. My name is Kerry Woodard Sr., and thank you for allowing me to join you today with our special guest, Marcinda Henkins.
Bye.